Hey, what's up? Welcome to the Entrepreneur Mindset Series. I want to tackle on the topic of accountability. All right, accountability is one of those things that everybody struggles with. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you've Gandhi's best friend, or it doesn't matter. Accountability is going to be one of those things that everybody has an issue with. I just want to clarify it because people ask, okay, what is accountability? Is accountability asking somebody to just hold me accountable to things? I give them a deadline and then that's it. I have to make it happen in that deadline. Accountability goes way beyond that, right? There's a couple of different ways of how we set accountability at a psychological level. So I'm going to break those down, and then I'm also going to show you how you're blocking yourself from being accountable to your own goals. Jumping right into it, we have two ways of holding ourselves accountable. One is going to be internal accountability, and the other one is going to be external accountability. Internal accountability really comes in when you're from a space of ethics and morals, right? This is when you're feeling that something is right, it's the right thing to do, and you're holding yourself accountable. For example, saying, I'm going to do that because it feels right. It's the right thing to do, and I'm morally obligated to handle it because it's the right thing to do. Now, external accountability comes in when you're getting something that's outside of you. You're getting a reward. For example, I'm going to hold myself accountable to lose 45 pounds because I want to have a beach body. Or I'm going to hold myself accountable to making 50 calls a day because I want to close a $20,000 deal. I'm going to hold myself accountable to this, and that because I want that from as a result, right? As a goal, as a reward. So those are the two types of accountability. The biggest thing that comes in between us and setting of reaching those goals that we try to hold ourselves accountable to are going to be the following. It's three ways that we deflect accountability. And yes, you can have an accountability partner and somebody to hold you to it, right? That's always a great support. But what happens when they're not there? What happens when they don't have the same skin in the game as you do, and they're perhaps not the best accountability partner? This is where your own willpower kicks in, right? And we have three ways of deflecting accountability. The first way that we deflect accountability is through minimization, meaning that we try to, when something goes wrong or because we weren't accountable to it, we try to make it small. All right. So, for example, say that you're working on a deal and you dropped the ball in communication and something happened as a result of that, and now your profits are smaller. You minimize it by saying, well, at least I didn't lose the deal, right? That's bullshit. You were accountable to something, you didn't keep to it, and now there's a consequence, right? So, but we have the tendency, and I'll speak for myself on this, I've been guilty of that time and time again. We have the tendency of saying, okay, at least this, at least that, at least if you're saying the word or the phrase at least, you are trying to compensate, or you're trying to block accountability within yourself, all right? So keep that in mind. If you're using the phrase at least, something happened that you were accountable to and you didn't make it go through, all right? So hold yourself accountable to that kind of stuff. Keep that as a red flag. If you're saying the word at least this, at least that, or at least I didn't lose a deal, or at least I made $2,000, I guarantee you there's a point in that conversation where accountability was dropped on your part. Number two is going to be denial. All right, we deny the heck out of things, especially when something goes wrong and we do not want to assume the responsibility of failure. Denial kicks in. An example of that would be if you're working on something and you've been working on a deal or a transaction or a project or whatever, and you get hit with failure, you start to look at it as if it was never there. Meaning, well, you know what, it was not meant for me. I didn't think it was going to happen in the first place. Or on second thought, it's even better that it didn't happen because this, and that. So you put yourself in a state of denial. And the reason you're putting yourself in a state of denial is because you want to build a cushion around the idea or the sensation of failure, the emotion of failure, right? When that happens, it's easy to just start denying things left and right and say that it wasn't up to you or it wasn't meant to be, and adopt that mentality. That's also bullshit. It's denial. Something happened there with accountability that gave you the consequence of your goals not being met, and now you're trying to make it all feel better with the idea of denial. Now, the third way of how we block accountability is going to be blame, pointing the finger. Oh, if this would not have happened, I would have gotten this result. If this person hadn't been involved, I would have gotten this result. Or it's all their fault. It's this situation's fault. It's this and that. Again, you start pointing the finger and blaming others for things that you should be accountable for. And when things go south, it almost becomes like a survival mechanism. All right. So 3 ways that we block accountability. Just be aware of these. These are around you every single day. So it's going to be minimization. It's going to be denial. And then it's going to be blame. If you're taking part in any of those 3, I guarantee you there is a portion, there is something in there or in the process of whatever you're in the middle of where accountability got dropped. Hold yourself accountable. You are going to be your best accountability partner. Real life accountability partners are more of a support structure. Okay, they're there as reminders, but nobody's going to hold you accountable to the same level that you are. Hold yourself accountable. Know where it's coming from. If it's internal, if it's external, and stop deflecting accountability through minimization, denial, or blame. Build up your entrepreneur mindset. Stay focused. You got this.